Hey everyone, SolarPrimal here. Welcome to another video where I talk about Pokemon. Most importantly, I want to talk about something that a friend of mine had mentioned on Twitter. Credit to him for even sparking the idea about this video for me, which was, so shout out to Blue Flares on Twitter. I believe he also goes by Duh Flares. He also went by another name before, but that's in the past. So anyways, so his tweet was just showing off a meme of what I don't even know. I'm so old I don't even know what the meme is called, but it's the meme of the guy with his girlfriend and then checking out another girl and giving that ooh face. And it was just basically showing Apple Watches and other fancy smart watches, and then the girl he's checking out is actually a picture of the Poketch from Pokemon Platinum. Technically it was also in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but Platinum was where they improved it. Those of you that played the game understand, because in Diamond and Pearl there was just one. Actually, you know, before I get into that, I should explain what is a Poketch, because many of you haven't even played 4th generation. Some of you are actually didn't even start playing Pokemon until 5th generation maybe. But either way, no judging here, we all love Pokemon. What a Poketch is, essentially was a way for the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum to utilize the bomb screen of the DS. It would essentially act like a smartwatch before its time. It was a watch that had apps on it that you could scroll through to see the different apps. And this came out way before the Apple Watch even existed. So that's what I mean by ahead of its time. Anyway, so in his tweet, he says, begs the question, though, how will Game Freak implement the Poketch on Nintendo Switch when they release Sinnoh remakes? And you know me, I'm hoping for that Sinnoh remake, but we'll just have to wait and see still. Now again, there's hints happening. Someone also pointed out in my other video that in the trailer you have a Munchlax as your family Pokemon. Kind of like in Sun and Moon, how you had the Kanto Meowth. So following that came Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. That one was a bit of a stretch, because if you think about how long in between that happened, it wasn't really a hint at anything, at least in my eyes, the Meowth thing, because I think it was actually more or less them confirming that they had Kanto versions of Pokemon and Alolan versions of Pokemon, and since your character technically came from Kanto, that's where the connection lies. But it's not to say or disprove that that could be a hint at anything, but that's just my thoughts on that. But what I want to talk about is that tweet. Basically the idea, what would Nintendo do to help utilize that feature? And there's a lot of endless possibilities, because on the recent Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, some of you, like me, had gotten the Pokeball Plus, and this was a worthwhile purchase for that game. I haven't utilized it as much for Pokemon Go that I should be, but the thing that really made this thing special was the fact that you could use it as a controller, because the middle button became a joystick, and then the joystick itself was the A button if you clicked it in, and then the top button was a B button. So I thought that was really clever, and to actually use it for Pokemon Go was even just more functionality out of just this simple little device. So I feel that Nintendo could easily do something to help utilize, come up with another accessory to go with the games. It would, one that you wouldn't have to get, but for those that want to get more out of their game, I feel people would actually go for it, like I did for that Pokeball Plus. Now that that begs the question, what could they do and what could they implement when that time comes? So here's my idea. I feel like Nintendo could actually come out with their own physical Poketch, and it would work similar to how it works in the game. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I got my good old DS here open, and Platinum open, of all things, playing the music, which I should probably turn that down. There's my volume. Well, I'll have that for just a sec. So there it is, the Poketch in all its glory. There's the time currently that I'm recording this at, and You probably can't even hear me right now because this music's so loud, but you can scroll down, so there's a calculator, ooh, and back up to time. You can go the other way too, and there's been some interesting features here, because this one alone, actually, you can set up one type here and then a type here, and then see if it's super effective or not effective. Basically, if it is effective at all, which is actually really educational considering there's so many types now and different combinations. This was really handy for those that didn't know what to do with it. I can go on and on. This app is useless now because they don't do the networking. There's the map, so they actually have the map on there if you didn't want to, you know, and you can actually interact with this, I believe. There's a Pokemon right there. You see that? I don't know what Pokemon that is over there. There was a way to interact with this, I don't remember it right now, but either way. Yeah, let's get over there. What else we got? There's an analog clock, you know, for those of you that don't know how to read time. Some of you don't, really. It's scary. This is a counter, and truth be told, it actually came in handy in this game. I won't get into why. Then we have, oh, this one was when you, I don't know, didn't use it enough. Oh, that's the map again. This one was the item finder, so you would actually tap on the screen and then a little blip will show up if you were close by an item, and that was neat. Their way of doing that was way better. There's your Pokemon, you can actually click on them and they'll make their sounds if you actually click on them. Sometimes they'll make a heart sound, and then you can actually see your team on there. Oh, that's getting trickier. See, there's the team, good old platinum team right there for the channel. And what we got? Oh, this is a step counter. Came in real handy when you're hatching eggs, because if you looked up online how many steps you needed to hatch an egg, again, you can see all the different functionalities. This one was always a nice fun one. You can just draw stuff and, you know, draw super appropriate things like I'm drawing right now. You would usually use this with the stylus, but using your finger is not really the best way. The only problem is that once you click away, it will erase itself. So if you want to keep that on the screen and work really hard on that, you gotta keep it on, and as soon as you turn off the game, it's gone. It's like an Etch-a-Sketch except digital. And there's that fancy calculator, which again, we can always use a calculator at hand. I know I need it. Either way, if some of the stuff I'm talking about seems familiar, like having time, having a calculator, that's basically all the stuff your smartphone can do. And in fact, if you have an Apple Watch, it also comes with those features as well. So back to my point, I think Nintendo could not Nintendo per se, but Game Freak can actually develop something that is almost like they can go deep with this. They could actually make their own kind of Poketch watch that has different apps on it associated with Pokemon. It can even go as far as having Pokemon Go on there, and you play Pokemon Go on your watch. Imagine how crazy that would be. And then along with that, you can have other features on there, just the simple ones like I guess a calculator, gotta have it, gotta app them all. But not only that, you can even access your Nintendo account or something, or you can see the status of the current game you got. You can do what this thing does and have a Pokemon in it to take for walks. Like, again, the options are endless. And yeah, it would be simple enough to do. They could even come up with a concept for it to, it's a little archaic, but they could even develop it in a way that it would look and function the same way the Poketch does in the game, like I just showed you. The reason why I say it's a bit archaic is because these days we love having everything at the tip of our fingers and not having to scroll through too much stuff. Because right now there's so many apps out there that you can have on your phone, and just, it can look like my phone basically, where there's just so many apps that I have about 4 pages worth of apps. So having it restricted to a button system to go up and down to scrolling might be a bit outdated for these days, but I still think they could come up with something that would implement it really well, and then something that could somehow connect it with the Switch. and I think that'd be really cool. Even going as far as doing the same thing like this, where they make the Poketch a controller for your Switch. I think that'd be fantastic. You can just be at home and just be like, you know, boop, 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 you know, like, I'm gonna walk this way, I'm gonna go that way, or whatever, you know. You don't have to use the controller, or you'd have your own fancy controller for the game. I don't know, to me that's exciting. And I mean, if they keep the same catching style that they did for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which personally I hope they don't, because I kind of prefer the old way. This other way is kind of, the Let's Go way is kind of a bit easy button for certain things. It just depends how you play. But if they went as far as keeping that system, if you had the Poketch on your wrist, all you have to do is just kind of do that motion to throw the Pokeball and have it catch. So there's always that. The possibilities are endless, really. Mind you, I do like this better as a thing to, you know, to simulate throwing, because you're literally throwing a Pokeball. So I am a fan of this. And then it comes down to cost. What would us as fans be willing to pay for something that would be like a Poketch watch on our wrist? If this is any indication, I believe this was like $80 in Canada. That's crazy. And I can't believe I got two. One for me and one for Lunar. If they made it worthwhile to get, where it had more than just one function, then I feel people would be willing to pay for it. Obviously, people are willing to pay for new Pokemon games when they come out, because we want our new Pokemon games because we just love the games. So, you know, all I'm trying to say is, please make a Sinnoh Remake! I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not, but I am. I know you're watching, Nintendo. I guess if it would be any hint to where Nintendo may be heading with some of this technology, just the sheer fact that you could use Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee to connect to Pokemon Go through the Switch, I think that's pretty fantastic. I think that's them stepping out of the normal realm of what the other big companies are doing. So I think they have opportunity, and I think they have the capability to make it work well, where they could make something really special down the road when the Sinnoh Remake comes around. I'm pushing that. We want a Sinnoh Remake. There can be so many great things that come out of that, especially with the most up-to-date generation coming up here. The Sword and Shield. I still don't know what the remake would be. If they do 2 games, then it would be something for Diamond and Pearl. We'll exclude Platinum, because that's fine. Platinum's great. If they gotta do it, they gotta do it. They did that for Ruby and Sapphire. They didn't do their Delta Emerald that people were clamming for. What would it be? North Diamond and South Pearl. Oh, that's awful. I just had a bad image. You just know that's gonna be the next generation coming up. Pokemon North and Pokemon South. It's gonna happen. You're gonna come up with concepts. We're into items now. I mean, we technically were with Sun and Moon. But anyways, I'm rambling now, so those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you think it's gonna be something they should do, if you think, nah, let's not worry about that, or if you're that special kind of evil that's like, they will never make a Sinnoh Remake, and that is a fruitless campaign you're running. So that's it for this video, and if you like what you see, please give the video a like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. And until then, you guys, this is SolarPrimal signing out, and bye for now.